Hello, welcome to my playthrough of my demo. Here I'll be walking you through the playthrough as well as teaching you what you should be learning from this playthrough. So for new players, the best place to start is of course with the tutorial campaign. So the first place to start is the calibration campaign. This is where you will be picking the campaign settings that you'll be running through the rest of the game with. So for example, in this first one is the speed and size campaign, which determines the base level speed and projectile side and projectile speed that the rest of the campaign is going to be running at. So to show, I'll just jump into it. Yeah, it works. These are the campaign settings. This should be 100 for now, and this should be 0.1 for now. I'll explain what all those values I changed are as we go through this. So at this speed, we're going 15 meters per second. Our projectiles are going 30 meters per second with a radius of, I think, 0.15. I'll have to check that. Alright, these are the results. Time, health, distance, average distance, shots fired, shots hit, accuracy, and of course the AIs as well. Okay, so, my bad. Projectile of 0.075. Okay, so then the next level moves up by 5 basically. Everything is kept in a ratio with the unit speed. So right click to select the enemy, which makes the green box appear. Left click to start firing. Just aim at the green cursor. WASD for the standard movement, forward, left, backwards. Shift and space. Shift is down, space is up. You will notice in the upper left hand corner there is a three-dimensional radar. This is more useful when you're engaging in multiple people or if you need more spatial awareness. Bottom left is the health over here, and bottom right is the enemy health. Okay, so once again these results, which are then here. If you for some reason feel like you're missing numbers, you can always just click on this and this will give you a more detailed view. Like before, it only gave you the % health lost, but here it's giving you the actual original numbers. Okay, so why are we doing this? We're doing this so that you can find a speed that you will be comfortable with for the rest of the playthrough. Besides finding a speed that you like, enjoy, and think looks cool, other things to be looking out for is to try to get your own accuracy down to 10%, roughly 10%. This is because a lot of the variables in this game that you'll be messing with are increase the accuracy of the projectiles. But the problem is player accuracy generally doesn't go above like 50% in general. So, see, my accuracy here is actually too high. It's already at 30%. So if I was to use those high accuracy projectiles or variables, then I would be losing it. You know, it's like if you overkill someone by having a 100 damage weapon, but they only have 1 health. So here's the same thing, too much accuracy. There's a couple of ways to get the accuracy. As you might have noticed, actually, my accuracy is already decreasing. So you can either increase the unit speed until your accuracy is roughly at 10%, or you can increase the AI difficulty. That was one of the values I was messing with in the campaign settings, and that is actually the next mini campaign. As you can see, my accuracy has dropped once again. Accuracy actually went up. Accuracy is still pretty high. I don't know if any luck 60 will knock it down. For me, myself, 60 seems to be a threshold. Or it used to be. So as you can see right now, that blue bar happened because he was stunned. That happens when the AI collides into a solid object, either a player, which was the case, or the ground, or map boundaries. Huh, alright, my accuracy was usually like 15%, which I generally would have called good enough, but apparently it's too high now. So if you notice the terrain deformation is happening, it's because the way projectile damage is currently set to the unit is currently 1 ton of TNT equivalent. So each shot should deform, I think, was it 10 meter radius? Maybe less. Look into that. Ah, there we go. So if you were getting something like these results, then this would be good. Other important things are your team percent health loss should be around 1%. This is because later when we're giving the AI the advantage of certain variables, they expect to do like 50 times as much damage, so you need to have enough health in order to win and to live. You should always be winning, at least in the campaign anyway. So I could play the rest of the game at speed 80, just changing this to like 80, and then all the levels afterwards would be at that. But for the purposes of this, and so people can have an easier time seeing the opponent, I'm going to stick with 30. So next we're going to go with the... Well, first, okay, so all these levels is what I've tested previously. As you can see, with each increase of unit speed, the game gets harder and harder. I'm sure there are some people out there who will want to play the entire game on unit speed 300, and all power to them. The game will do that. It's hard for me to do that. Other things to consider is your battle time should roughly take between 1 and 2 minutes. If you find it's taking too long, but your other settings aren't correct or something, then just lower the AI health. We will get to that in a moment as well. But yes, so this is at 30, everything's fine. If you want to change to some particular, right now it's using random, but if you wanted to, for example, you could change to some character that you created in the character selection. So this is, okay, so calibration campaign, this text up here is text that applies to the entire campaign, so this basically explains the control and what you're supposed to be doing here. Like it says, this is helping you find perfect campaign settings for you. Here's the AI difficulty. This is the other way to get your accuracy down to 12%. So we're at 30 again, and now the AI difficulty go up. Before, AI difficulty was 0.1. Normally I'm roughly 0.3 to get the correct accuracy I need. But as a rough estimate, a 1 AI difficulty will be 10 times harder than a 0.1 difficulty in terms of hitting them. And then group up is actually a slightly different AI, but this is actually twice as hard as this one. Alright. Ah yes, okay. So this is using multiple units as opposed to a single one, as you can see. This was done primarily to show the AI at 0.1 kind of clumps up. You can see I'm not even aiming at the one I selected, I'm just kind of aiming center of mass of this clump here. And this will, you know, it's hitting them, right? I'm just slowly killing them. This effect remains in play to roughly 0.5 AI. At least for my own experimentation. After 0.5, then you can't really hit them accurately. At least by just shooting center of mass like that. Because they spread out too much. Alright, so what this actually is, as the name suggests, the name is a spear strafe ratio. So what the AI is actually doing is it's going to a random location on a sphere from you, and the radius of that sphere is determined by the movement speed of the AI times that AI difficulty. So for example, these guys are all going at 30 meters per second with the 0.1 ratio, then that means the radius of that sphere of points that they can go around you is 3 meters. At this 0.3 ratio, then the radius of that sphere is going to be 9 meters. What happens in-game is basically they spread out a lot more, and they don't come at you quite as clumped up for multiple people, but also they're harder to hit in general. Assuming you're using a normal projectile, not like something like a laser or some super strong homing device. Ah, there. See, my accuracy is around 10-15%. And I'll just do the 0.5 just to show you what it's like when I can't hit them center of mass. See, I'm getting a couple of hits, but it's not bad, but it's also not. It's not like as mindless as it was before. Could probably be getting equal results by actually aiming. Ah, yes, another important thing. So in the campaign, your projectiles have a lifespan of 1 second. So basically you multiply that by your projectile velocity, which is double your unit speed. So in this case, we're using 30, double that is 60. You can only hit things roughly 60 meters away. In practice, you might be able to get slightly more because the AI is always going to be approaching you, so they'll be running into you as you're firing at them. Let's see, 30 is also the most tested speed of all my speeds. Basically, most of my testing, I kind of defaulted to a speed of 30. So if nothing else strikes out to you, then just use that, I guess. And wow, my accuracy really, yeah. As you can see, accuracy is halving each time it's going through. So my health is, well, it's going down. Alright, moving on. This is player health if you need more health, but as I said, I do not think I need it because I am well within the 1% radius. AI health, we want the battle to go faster, or need it to. Once again, I don't need that. Player actual units. This campaign is more of just for fun kind of thing. Basically, it's showing you that you can have multiple units on your side, same as the enemy does. So here, I'll just show it to you. It'll be full over fast. You'll have 10 units, 10 clones. It's back to 1 AI. Alright. So these numbers are an average of your entire teams, at least if you're using the same unit. If you have different units, then different ones of these will pop up. If you have different shots in that unit, that will show up too. But if you're all, clones of each other, like I was here, then there will be an average. And I did not actually set the AI to be 0.3. Things you forget. Alright, so you should be coming here and changing things as you go through this campaign. This should be 10, and I want 10 units because I think it will look better. And this, of course, increases the actual units, just like I was doing in the campaign settings. Yes, all right. So that was the calibration campaign. I picked that was the calibration campaign. Okay, so this is the normal shot campaign. These are all the variables that a normal shot uses. First one is player fire time. So this is much more. The rest of the campaigns will be more like this compared to the calibration campaign, which is a kind of special campaign just to get everyone started. Up here, you'll see the formulas for offensive power level is equal to accuracy times DPS, damage per second. Accuracy is then broken down into its component parts: projectile speed minus AI pushback minus random start times 2 times projectile size times 0.5 to the cone half angle divided by 10. And DPS is, of course, 1 divided by fire time times fire projectile damage. Down here, you'll see the particular mini campaign that I'm going through at any particular time. That's anything in this campaign section. So here it just focuses on DPS and fire time. Okay, so the control is the control. It's like just a standard battle with normal settings. So anything I put in the campaign calibration will be here, basically. And then these are basically, so what the control has is a 0.1 fire setting. You can see that. So this is what's actually driving all of this. This is the skirmish menu. The campaign setting basically just forces you to have certain values. Like you see, the unit speed is here, unit health that we're messing around with there, AI type, difficulty. Right, so what was I saying? Yes, alright, so this is the advanced view, which shows everything that's available at once. Right, fire, time, and projectile damage. So normally fire time is 0.1. So you fire 10 times per second, 600 rounds per minute, machine gun fire, and then 1 damage. So these all actually have the same DPS because the fire time has been increased, but the damage has been increased to compensate. So I'll just do one of these that gives 0.5. And just start it. Alright, that's somewhat odd. Half the time. What's the accuracy? Could just be luck though. So this was the player fire time. The other one is of course the AI fire time. Basically it does the same thing, except now the AI is the one. So here, for example, it'll be using the standard 0.11 for the player, as you can see my projectiles come on, whereas the AI is firing that's staggered 0.55 damage. So if I get hit, it's going to hurt a lot more, but there's also a lot less projectiles. And my health loss was actually more than before. Oh, is it a big amount? I got hit maybe 10 times compared to 35 times. Of course, they're doing a lot more damage. Alright, right, so the reason I'm not going through these whole things is because time issues. I'm trying to get through all 3 of these things in 2 hours. Previous attempt to do this, I only managed to get through the shot, calibration and shot. I didn't actually get to the unit campaign before my voice dies, and I'm gonna turn off the heater before I boil alive. Sorry. Alright, now for something more important. Speed is one of the controlling factors in this game. It's very important for the player to have enough of it, though having too much isn't too helpful. Alright, so remember, the basic projectile speed is normally around 60. But of course here we have, 200. So this is slightly more than 3 times faster than normal. Right, remember, this is where the accuracy being, low is important. At least less than 15. But you see, even with 3 times boost, it's only, 22. So only doubled instead of tripled. Yeah, not going into that ditch. Excuse me while I check OBS and the bout of paranoia to make sure I'm actually recording. Yes, I am. Alright. Out of paranoia done. It's like you leave the house and did I leave the stove on? Now this is 120, which is double the normal 60. And I probably got too close. Alright, so the thing about speed is, generally speaking, you kind of need enough of it, and then after that its value falls off. Now my accuracy is starting to approach normal levels. Alright, this should be a large drop though. Alright, yeah, as you can see, there was this large jump in accuracy, time, and damage between 80 and 40. And 40 is still faster than the enemy AI speed, because their speed is still at 30. As you can see... Yeah, see, their speed is still at 30, whereas your projectile speed is at 40. So this is already a threefold jump, and it's gonna get much worse as we go down these. Just bracing myself. Ah yes, something you should notice is, you remember my game settings was originally AI health was at 10, but because I know this is such a difficult mission, some of these levels have the health automatically reduced simply so that, you know, you don't take forever on these things. As in this mission, the AI health is at 5. As you can see, my accuracy went down again. But my time is better, but that is of course because the AI went from 10 health to 5. Right, so now the projectile speed is at 30, but the enemies also move at 30, so theoretically, as long as you just move, well, they move straight back, I would never hit them. Fortunately, the AI is programmed to hunt you down. At least these are. Group up AI is somewhat less enthusiastic about doing that. Only slightly though. Work if this was a single enemy, but there's multiple ones, so this is actually taking 3 shots as opposed to just 2.5 shots. It would work out well if it was, you know, one guy at 100 health, because then he'd just have 25 health, and so this is more like if he had 30. Still, the range is roughly correct, from 50 to 30, about half. Yeah, and my accuracy got halved. Alright, this should be 1 health, I'm hoping. That's 1 health, alright. Relying on the enemy's center points. Alright, this might be because he has too little health. Let's try 20. Yes, I am actually faster than projectiles I fire. Oh, this is much easier than I remember, huh? Of course, you notice I'm not actually aiming at the one I'm supposed to be aiming at. And you notice the crosshair when I do aim is he's everywhere. I'd be better off trying to ram him. If you notice this red arrow shows up, this just points to where the enemy is that you targeted. You know, if you lost track of him. Alright. So, hopefully you understand the importance of speed. As long as you're... I think maybe... yeah. As long as you're twice the enemy's speed, then you're good. Otherwise, and, well, more than that, you get kind of diminishing returns. But anything less than that, then you're really suffering. And remember, the formula for speed is it's a straight linear. So increasing your speed, you just double your speed, just half the damage it does, or something, or half your health, something like that. It's worth being faster, making sure your projectile is faster than the enemy. Probably at least twice as fast from these numbers, anyway. But yes, now for the AI side. Okay, so previously I started at 200 and went down to 20. Here it's from 20 to 200. This is because it's organized by difficulty. So obviously, when you're, he's going at 20. Unless I fly right into the center of the pack, there should be no way he hits me. Zero accuracy. Because I just moved backwards. Once again, 0 accuracy. Also 0. Now his projectile speed is actually faster than mine. Well, my unit speed anyway. Projectile speed is still 60. Will I be able to keep it up here? But yes, hopefully you can see from the density of the projectiles I actually have to do some dodging rather than just going backwards all the time. Oh, so they hit me once. A couple times, actually. How many times? They hit me 5 times. Alright, remember there was a large jump between 40 and 80. Let's see if it's like that. But yeah, it probably will be. That's a 12-fold increase in accuracy for only double. And another 3-fold increase for only 50% more. At least in their accuracy. So yes, while human players might not be able to reap the full benefits of increasing projectile speed, the same can't quite be said for the AI. But yes, this is also another reason that I told you to make sure when you're in the calibration campaign, you are only losing roughly 1% of your health. So that you would have enough health for situations like this. When, as you see, I'm pretty much being constantly hit. And I'm not really trying to dodge individual shots anymore, I'm just kind of trying to make sure I minimize the time in the enemy jet stream of projectiles. Another 3-fold increase for only a third. I'm at 5% health lost. Let's see what it looks like now. Ah, yes, of course I get hit at the spawn point. Because I'm no longer far enough away. And we're in the clouds. Which kind of looks cool, but also messes up my aim. And did my 3D radar disappear because we're in the clouds? Could I just not see it through the fog? Ah, and another doubling for, what was this, 25% increase? Right. So, be careful of high AI speed projectiles. Though in normal gameplay, I mean, this doesn't happen unless you force it to happen. The randomization that I use to generate random AI units has a ratio between the speed and the projectile size. So this is just speed increasing constantly while keeping the same projectile size. As you can see, 200, but the radius is still 1. Whereas here, it's 20, but the radius is 1. So yeah, there is a relationship between projectile speed and size, which we'll be going through next. Ah, yes. So the reason the projectiles look like this is because, and well, the explosions are fairly large too. Explosion size is based off projectile radius, and the reason they're these giant empty circles is because the projectile radius is larger than 1. If I had gone with the standard just glowy ball thing, then you would be blinded from that. Now you're blinded by the explosive size. Right, as you can see, my accuracy is around 50, then it goes down compared to my standard 14. So remember, this was 0.15, so this is exactly half of this. Ah yes, if you're wondering why the explosive is so large to be blinding normally, this is not really for this type of extreme projectile size on these speeds. This is more for when you're running around at the 300 meters per second. Then of course, you know, you're firing at stuff that's like 500 meters away. You need a large explosion to see that you're hitting them. Not too much of a decrease there. I click the right button. Alright, so not quite a doubling, and I'm not getting much here, but I'm getting something here and here. So, more, I mean, it's a 10-fold increase for only 5-fold. This is still better, I think, than projectile speed. Well, maybe not. Well, we can get more out of it though. Projectile speed only gave me twice as good, whereas the highest one of projectile speed was 20 for 3 times compared to projectile radius, which is 50, 5 times. Nearly a 10-fold. I've tried higher projectile speeds than 200. It doesn't really help much. AI projectile radius is kind of weird though, as you'll see. So this is less than 1. Yes, certain situations I force you into fighting a certain number of people for one reason or another. I should probably change that back to 101 then. just do that again. Yeah, the base settings were meant for 1 unit at 100 health, so sometimes stuff slips through like this. Ah, well, which gives me a good chance to show off this thing. So if for whatever reason, you know, you have multiple battles and you can pick whichever one you want. So this was the first battle, this is the second battle. So I can go back to that. So he is... Oh, right, this is... Forgot to turn that off. Wow. That was bad. Yeah, okay. Accuracy was about the same. That's the major problem with AI projectiles versus people. The bigger projectile just kind of makes it easier to see and then easier to dodge. Unless you're getting to like certain extremes where the projectile is so physically large that it's actually difficult to dodge. Which we may get into by the largest one. It's actually less accurate. Well, let's see if this is big enough to catch me all the time, or if it's just going to be more the same. Yeah, that got me. So as you can see, despite how much effect the projectile radius had on the player, it barely does anything for the AI. At least as long as the human player can see and then counter projectiles. So what I've done is I have a second set of tests here, which basically increases the unit count to 10, increases their speed so they're faster than you, and then does it again. And hopefully I didn't mess up their healths. Good, they have the correct amount of health. Just the first one that was problematic. Alright. I think I need to fix. So, as you notice, because they are 50% faster than me, I can't actually do my constant kiting and then keeping them all kind of in front of me thing. They're just going to, you know, swing around me all the time anyway. Which is what you can now use a 3D radar for. But yes, projectile radius should have an effect now that you're being shot from behind and can't see and dodge it. So the larger projectile should just increase the chances of you being hit from behind. Assuming these numbers work out well. That being said, for power level calculations, that was all done using AI versus AI testing in general. So for, you know, the AI increasing projectiles, multiply the radius, you're basically multiplying the accuracy. Which means, of course, the offensive power level goes up as well. Right, that's a nice doubling there. And this one was also increased, though not by too much. Yeah, sometimes you just can't see anything. Just look for the green square and the green crosshair. That's a nice doubling. And now to go even more blind. Once again, reiterating that they should only do 1% of your health in the calibration campaign, so you have enough health to face tank all of this. And that is more than double. Alright, these last, that was the most important bit. These last ones are a bit less important, so I'm just gonna kind of blaze through them. Cone half angle is basically, normally when you're firing perfectly straight forward, and it's, you know, it's at 0, so perfect. Cone half angle basically is how large the cone, the angle in the cone is, so you're firing in like a spread. I'll just show it off quickly. Even with like 10%. So you see I'm firing and I'm aiming it here, but the shots are going everywhere. So what was it? Every so 10 divided by 10, this would be 1, so every 10 degrees basically your accuracy is halved again. So at 20 it would be 25%. 30 it would be what was it, 0.125. So 1/8 accuracy at 30, 1/4 accuracy at 20, and 1/2 accuracy at 10. Cone half angle AI. The AI is like stupidly inaccurate as well. Yeah, pushback. This one's important-ish. This was designed basically so that you could win close combat encounters. Not sure if you noticed. So what I have going on here is basically I've set the projectile life for the player to be only 0.1, so it'll only live 1/10 of a second. His radius is huge though, but basically, so you only have, at 60 meters per second, 0.1 second, you only have 6 meters of range, so you need to get really close to him. So with, you'll see, with 60 pushback, this is going to shove the enemy projectiles will spawn 60 meters behind him in point blank range. And I should probably change the settings back. Yeah, see, he's normally it'd spawn in his hands, right? But it's like spawning really far behind. And I forgot to change the settings back. Yeah. Just push through. So he's barely hitting me. He's hit me twice. Let's see, this is his, his projectiles are always in his hands. AI pushback, as its name implies, does not affect you at all because it's only for the AI. Humans don't have perfect accuracy. As you can see, that is more than 14-fold increase. Yeah, no, 23 times compared to 2 times. I just murdered him faster, apparently. So that's AI pushback. You basically use it to get extra points. Because as you can see, the variable here, projectile speed subtracts the AI pushback. Max random start. Alright. So what max random start does is it, instead of projectile spawning in your hands, it spawns here, for example, 0.75 meters in a random circle around you. So it's not bad at a distance, but the main problem is if you get really close to the enemy, your shots kind of go around him, and your accuracy decreases by quite a bit. Same thing with the AI start distance. Well, actually, how will it look if I do that? Yeah. So it's a definite debuff, but it does have like a cool visual effect if you wanted to do something like a Gate of Babylon. Alright. Now moving on to the unit values campaign. Alright, so A higher player speed is generally harder to control, but it does definitely offer you benefits in dodging. Also useful as you can control the battle distance. So here I'm moving at 60, whereas all the enemies are moving at 30. Though because this is a high accuracy control, the projectile size and speed have all been ramped up a bit. As you will see in the next battle. If I remember correctly, it should be, instead of the standard projectile speed being 2 times more than unit speed, it should be 5 times more. Way too far away. Alright, just get closer. You're gonna get hit. So my accuracy was 10, his accuracy is lower. That's what we have the control for. Yeah, that's okay. So doubled my speed, his accuracy went down. What a bit, 10-fold? Not 10-fold, 50-fold? Though of course, as you see, the average distance here is 120 versus, just see this setup quickly. This is 30, 150, so 5 times with the appropriate speed. Okay. Yeah. 120 meters. Okay, so now I'm at 15, so this is half their speed. Which of course has the unpleasant effect of once they start surrounding me, I won't be able to get away. Half my speed and his accuracy went up 5-fold. Yeah, once again, health, need health. My accuracy already at 30. Let's see if I can get it to 50. That crosshair is almost over the guy, like not moving at all. Accuracy is about the same, but I took advantage of my speed and moved a bit too far. Alright, so before it was 50% accurate increase in speed was the allowed the AI to circle around me and shoot me constantly. This is a more nuanced exploration of exactly how much speed it takes for the AI to start doing considerably more damage to you. What is this, like 25% faster than me? Already having all these issues. So, like, you don't want to be in the center of them, but because you're slower than them, you can't help but be in the center of them. Even if I have my finger down on the back key, which I do. That took, wow, okay, so 4 times more health for 25% more speed. Alright, but they do seem to have tapped out, maybe? I mean, I guess if I'm surrounded and being shot at from all sides and can't really dodge, then it's the same, you know, if they're just moving faster, right? So just in case you were wondering, the blue bar is when they're stunned and so they're firing randomly at everything, as you can see. The red bar means they're immune to stun, so they can't just be constantly stun locked if they're in, like, you know, the ground or the caves or an urban environment, which we'll get to later. That took double the time. Good grief. Lost a lot more health. His accuracy's lower though too. My accuracy is terrible though. Right, so that's what happens when they're faster than you. So you should make sure they're not faster than you by increasing the your unit speed. Alright, this is player acceleration. Technically acceleration modifier. What it stands for is, for example, assuming 30 meters per second, a unit acceleration of 4 means 30 times 4. 120 meters per second squared is the actual unit acceleration. But you should see it here. It basically allows you to maneuver a lot faster. Though, as with this unit speed, too much of a good thing can be bad. Upper limit of it being beneficial for humans is roughly 4. If you go to like 8, you may find it being too high of an acceleration, and your times will be worse. That's pretty bad. So I took twice as long compared to the 4. Yeah, no, it's the same thing. His accuracy is still the same. My accuracy was just nerfed. I still don't even need 8 to mess yourself over. You just need 4. Though admittedly, I do think I got myself too close to them. Though my results may not be the same as your results, that's why you can do this yourself in the demo. See if you can actually reap benefits if your reflexes are faster than mine. Well, it's okay. So 1/10 their accuracy. I lost 1/10 the health. Yeah. Though having a low unit acceleration is just terrible, as you will see. I am a truck. Yeah, see, their accuracy basically doubled. My accuracy's 30%. Let's see if I can get that up to 50 with their non-moving slowness. Remember, acceleration is acceleration. It does not affect maximum speed. It just affects how fast you can get to your maximum speed. My accuracy is slightly better, but not by a significant margin. Their accuracy is increased and mine is not really changed too much. Oh, I was expecting my accuracy to go down. Alright, that made my accuracy go down a little bit. Oh, I lost a lot of health. I mean, remember, if you don't like anything, you can just redo the battle and then pick battle. But I am low on time. Alright. So those were the most important ones, speed and acceleration. AI stun time is basically showing off different stun times in hostile environment. Normally I have it set to 4 and 10, I believe. So yeah, let's just do 6 in the last one. This is my urban environment. Unlike all the other maps, the ground is not voxel based. Let's see. If you're seeing weird non-1 numbers, that's because I'm shooting through buildings. The buildings take 1 kilogram of TNT walls. Each wall takes 1 kilogram. But remember, each shot is 1 ton. So, in actual game terms, it's 0.001 damage. So if you see any weird numbers, that's because I'm shooting through a building and hitting the target. Buildings are of course more important at lower power levels. But yes, AI stun was initially created for this type of scenario. Heavy urban environment, fast speeds. Notice, I believe I set it to 30 speed, but this should actually be 60. Because 60 was when I noticed I had a problem beating a normal AI in a heavy urban environment. Okay, so I lost quite a bit. I got hit 300 times. Alright, so I'm going to show you, when it doesn't have stun immunity, or it doesn't get stunned. This is going to be worse. As you can see, they don't stop, ever. AI options, this falls under AI options. AI options generally don't have a power level because they just, how you customize the AI is up to you. In general. So in the campaign, normally it's 4-second stun, 10-second stun immunity, I believe. Unless I've changed something. I lost 4 times as much health. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so this is at 60. Stun time is, of course, it's stun time. The only thing special about it is, I guess, this one. So this allows you to get perma-stunned. See, he's stunned, and then he's just stunned again. He only lost 50 health compared to 300 and 1,225, 50. Yeah. So those are those two. Represented units is basically a multiplier. It multiplies your health and your damage. So this is 16. I will do 16 times the damage. And you see it's 1,000 still. But basically I have 16. When that 1,000 reaches 0, my count will go down to 15 and I'll only do 15 times as much damage. course, that is bold of the AI to actually assume they'll actually get me down to that. Right, so this is the formulas for it. AI is the same. Let's just see how much health they have. Alright, so it's 8. As you see, each one is an 8. And then I hit him once, he's down to 6. 4 times. 3 times. Dead. Player scale simply multiplies you upwards. Smaller is better, it's harder to be hit. Larger is worse. It allows you to be hit more easily. Also some problems with the camera. That is new, I did not expect it to look like that. Alright. Alright, slight issue then. Radar scaling inappropriately. Apologies, I just added the 3D radars like 2 versions ago, so I thought I had fixed the scaling issues, but apparently not. And by 2 versions ago, I mean literally last week. This just scales you, it doesn't scale your projectiles or anything like that, so you're just easier to hit. I think I might actually be able to get 100% accuracy. I don't know. Alright, so that is the demo campaigns. Yeah, feel free to try out the demo yourself, fill in all the stuff that I've missed, because I'm trying to keep it around 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, alright. Hope you enjoyed this live stream recording. Goodbye.